Welcome to Post. We're going to give you a short panel of about 5-7 minutes about Bottega Veneta first show by the new designer Daniel Lee, new designer for Bottega Veneta. I have just had a beautiful discussion with an interesting panel of experts, and I'm going to ask them again. Did you like the first show by Daniel Lee for Bottega Veneta? And if yes, why? And if not, why?
So I have to say I was not really a fan of the first collection from Daniel. For me, Bottega sort of representative of a sort of discreet luxury and sort of the height of luxury, almost akin to the Italian version of Hermes. So obviously everyone sort of knows that he came with a background from Celine, so that's sort of embroiled in the conversation as well. I guess because I am a fan of Hedi at Celine and less a fan of Phoebe at Celine, I wasn't so keen on the aesthetic anyway, and there are moments of it. It was definitely more of a punkier take. But I guess my question is kind of who is it aimed at? I feel like we'll have to see where he goes next because I'm not really sure who the customer is. And whilst I agree the brand probably did need a bit of a kick up the arse and an injection of new life, I feel like what we saw was perhaps too trend-led, but of the trends that we saw last year, as opposed to what I deem where fashion is going next. And I'm not sure that it's necessarily this collection, but I guess let's see.
Well, for me, I thought it was a brave new beginning for him and for the brand, and it's sort of reminiscent to the title he gave his first collection when he left Central St. Martin's, which was Wardrobe for Warriors of the Wasteland. And it kind of, I think it's a sort of a little bit of a sort of a nod to not only his sort of journey to this point, but also the brand's journey as well, and a nod to Thomas Meyer's previous collections. And I think that the detailing in it was definitely screamed luxury for me. I think it was quite brutal. It was like a warrior's a little bit aesthetic, and I think he wanted to make quite a big loud voice for his first collection, so to speak, so that people were talking about it, which we all have been doing quite a lot. And I think in a way that it's nice that it's given this kind of like debate about talking about where the collection's going to go. And I do think that he will kind of take on board how he sees it sort of panning down into the next season. But I think that it was a very bold start.
For me, it was quite a refreshing, inspiring introduction to Bottega. Someone who was previously seen as very much a leather goods brand and aimed at a particular market. It was interesting to see a younger designer be put in quite a high position and really be able to show his version of modern luxury. I think seeing some quite traditional leather pieces and really reworked in his own way, it made it feel super fresh, super modern, and actually presenting clothes that people would want to wear that they may not necessarily know. I thought it was really beautiful.
I thought the show was accomplished. I could see a high level of craft, which I like to see with these brands. I suppose more importantly, there were a few key ideas that he started to suggest, which I think will be important for Bottega. The entwined and the weaving with the leather, which I think has got a long way to go because it looks very sculptural. I can see the accessories and interiors focusing on that if they want to take that path. And also this idea of using these little design nuanced details in specific parts of the body and particular areas. As I said before, the focus around this area of the chest and this feeling of love and dreaming and energy, I thought was smart. And I think designers of this generation in their 30s are probably the generation that are in between this idea of maybe dystopia, which is coming through in society, and this feeling of dreaming and love. And I think he's going to try and tread that line between those two areas, which I feel he started to do with this show.
It's very interesting to listen to you all because somehow you come all from different point of views, and that's what makes it interesting. But I want to tell you, Carlo, especially that their press releases ended with something that was talking about love and joy, and that's what Bottega wanted to give, so I guess you nailed it. I think you nailed it. I personally thought it was a very interesting start for Daniel Lee. I could see Bottega in every bit of it, but with a quite strong evolution, which I look for because I wanted it more modern, more looking forward, different. There was nothing that was invented that, you know, that didn't exist before, but I thought it was very elegant, and it was a quite modern take on luxury that probably is what Bottega needed. So for me, positive start. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. There's still Paris to go. We will still have a few panels for you. Please do subscribe to our SHOWstudio channel on YouTube, and please do leave your comments. We'd love to hear from you. Bye-bye.